Hi, this is TJ with NetPicks Trading, and I wanted to do a follow-up video. The other day we had this really great presentation with our partners at Tradestation. It was very well received. There were a lot of people in attendance. I wanted to do a follow-up video using the same chart that I showed and just kind of talk through these setups. This is called Fun with Moving Averages using our Spotlight Power Trader technology. And this is today's session on the Russell eMini. The way the strategy works is that it uses moving averages in a very unique and novel way. And I've begun to explain some of these setups on our blog, backpacktrader.com, and you could visit that blog as often as you'd like. We love your participation. Feel free to post comments, questions, reach out to us if you want to learn about this strategy. So one of the setups that I taught everybody during the Tradestation presentation is what we're calling open on the line. You can see the replay of that video if you want to learn what this setup is and how it works. But right when the market opened this morning, a few minutes after, is like 2 minutes after, we have a setup here. And this is based on our open on the line approach. And you get the setup right here, and look how close it almost came to hitting its full target. We're always going to target 2 as our first target objective, okay? Target 1 is what we call the money management level, and when we hit that, we move our stop to take the risk off the trade. So in typical Spotlight Power Trader and Counterpunch Trader fashion and the theme that we typically build in, we're trying to get to a risk-free position as quickly as we can, while also kind of skirting the fence a bit, giving the trade the room it needs to develop. So we're not going to move the stop too soon, although it's funny, I say that, and this stop actually moved like 2 bars later. Little plus signs your entry. This is your stop down in here. These are your exhaustion dots. I explained this during that webinar. When you click on the bar itself, you get the whole trade here in the data window. You've got your entry, your money management level, where you get to break even, and then your target objectives. Target 1 is where we move when we move our stop. Sometimes you could take profit at target 1, and sometimes we'll even move our stop 90% of the way to target 1. The calculator is adjusting itself dynamically to real market conditions in real time, and it will tell us what to do, basically. It's amazing how well it works. And then, of course, our stop, etc. This trade triggers in. It almost gets to target 2, doesn't quite. The stop moves up, and then it falls back down and stops out for a 1 tick gain to cover some of the costs, commission and slippage and what have you. And then, I mean, that was just in time, because look what happens. The market falls. Now, the way Spotlight technology works is that when you're in a long trade, bars are green. When we're flat, the bars are gray. And the different shades of the bar tells you if we're going up or down, right? So the bright colored bar goes in the direction of the trade. When it's flat and we're gray, the light color is down and the dark color is up. So you get used to it. But the beauty of this is that you just know you stay flat, okay? So patience. There's another setup, and this is another open on the line setup. And that one triggers in, and you could see the entry. You could see the full trade. It's a larger trade because it's adjusting to market conditions. And notice that the stop has not moved at all, whereas this one moved right away. Because remember, we're trying to get to a break-even position while also giving the trade room to develop. We don't want to move our stop too fast because we don't want to stop out of a trade that ultimately ends up winning and hitting our targets. We have to be traders. And then there's a possibility of maybe having to go short here. So sometimes we might have to flip over, but that's just a warning because part of our confirmation process kept us flat on the short trade, and notice the bars are still green. That means stay long, and the short trade cancels, and finally it stabs up and hits that little dot there. That's 90% of the way to the first target. That little dot, if you could see that little itty bitty dot right there, tells us to move our stop to break even. And look, the stop moves up. You see, so this trade needed this kind of gyration and price action up and down before we can move our stop up. and protect ourselves. That's how much time that trade needed to develop. Okay, it's an important concept. And ultimately, though, it's going to stab and hit the stop and stop out. So another break-even trade. And that happens, even though it did ultimately come up and hit target too. So it's not always perfect, right? Some traders will hide the stop one tick below the balance line, and that's a valid adjustment that one could make. We call that the 5% art to trading. And the reason why is because the balance line marks the line in the sand, the balance of power between buyers and sellers. So to make a one tick adjustment, that's what traders will do sometimes. And whether you do it, whether you don't do it, it's a stylistic decision each trader will make. Maybe the person that's been using this for 6 months will see that enough times and make that adjustment. But if you've only been using this for 6 weeks, you're not quite there yet. And that's fine. You have to give yourself the ability to learn and improve as you trade your charts each and every day, right? That's just common sense. So 2 break-even trades, and we're looking for another one. And we're not trying to catch every move. There's like a quick turnaround, and notice we're flat. We're just waiting for the fun with moving averages style setups that put the odds in our favor. And we're not going to worry about random price action. We're looking for setups that we can predict will make us money. So, this is a very volatile market. It's like a roller coaster, up, down, no setups yet. How are you going to catch some of this? Well, there are strategies that will. The Spotlight Power Trader is really good at catching these V-shaped turnarounds. This is not the Spotlight Power Trader. This is fun with moving averages using Spotlight Power Trader technology, meaning it shines the light on the highest percentage trades based on the rules of these setups. It's pretty great because it really makes things crystal clear. Finally, there's a new setup here. It's a blue one. It's a different type of setup. The exhaustion dots, our momentum, all the rules that make this trade come in and set up right here. You can see when you click on the little on the setup bar, you got your whole trade. It all works the same. Notice it's an even bigger trade. And that one's going to hit its money management zone, and the stop moves up, locks in some profit. Does it get all the way? Now the stop is starting to trail the balance line, and then that one stops out. So 3 trades that cannot quite get to its full target. Some traders will quit after this. Some traders are quitting when they hit a full target winner. The next trade happens to be a short trade. Same setup, but in the opposite direction. We're already flat. And again, different size trades based on the current volatility at that time the setup occurs. And notice the bars are red now, because when you're in a short trade, the bars are red. When you're in a long trade, the bars are green. And when you're flat, the bars are gray. Don't worry about the magenta bar. That's marking something that really doesn't apply to this setup. So this trade needs room to develop too. Notice that the stop is well placed. And there's a little bit of up and down going on in here, but ultimately it capitulates and it bangs through the money management level. Stop moves down. Now in a risk-free position, it's going to start trailing the balance line. The price pushes through, hits the second target. That's good for 36 ticks, 3.6 points. Traders trading multiple positions can scale out at target 3. Target 4, both of which are hit. Notice the stop is starting to trail down. Look at the trade that this setup was able to catch for us. So it got us into 3 trades that couldn't quite get there, and then the 4th trade hits it out of the park. And these are 8-tick momentum bars, by the way. Every bar is 8 ticks. It's a really great bar because it's based on pure price action, which is what this strategy is based on because of the way it's designed with exhaustion dots, price action confirmation, our balance line, and then the types of setups that it uses off of these different moving averages. Very unique mix of indicators, but in the end, it's all price action. And so range bars like this work fantastic with the strategy. And notice it just keeps going down, down, down. And the balance line tracking perfectly the balance of power, staying in the trade, until ultimately it stabs up and gets out right here. And that trailer was good for 10.3 points for $515 a contract. Each tick is $5, each point is $50. Beautiful trade. Multiple position traders are able to get to break even at this level here. Remember, that's very important. And then they could scale out at each target and still keep another position remaining to trail and really take advantage of the full potential of this move. And then we're flat. Now, you don't have to keep trading. I think that if you get a good winner in a trade plan, it's a really good time to just quit, take your money, then do it again tomorrow. And then as you grow your account, you just increase your position size. But just to kind of follow along, because this is such a dynamic and effective approach, you have a new setup here. It's another short. It's one of the open on the line setups that I talked about earlier. And this one, look how much time this trade needed to develop. And look at how the strategy handles it. The stop just stays. It's not moving. It's just keeping you in the trade, keeping you in the trade. It even stabs up a bit and then falls back down. But the stop is well placed. It's all based on the formula of the setup. The trade needs this time to develop. It's funny because the first trade we looked at didn't need any time, 1 bar. Look how many bars this needs. And ultimately it capitulates and breaks through. It gets to money management right there. The stop moves down. Now it's a risk-free trade. And that's still well placed because even it's hiding above the balance line. And look what happens. It pushes through. Hits target 2, which is good for 2.5 points. That's $125 a contract. Hits target 3. That's good 34 ticks, 3.4 points. That's $170 a contract. And it even is able to, it tries to get past that, but target 3 was the perfect target. And it can't quite get to target 4, but that's okay. Look at the stop pushes down, and you get out of the remaining of your trade, all your other positions right there at the trailing stop. Another great winner. And this is just kind of taking us up to current. There's another trade. Look at how that one worked. That one moved quickly, hitting its targets. Good for 22 ticks. And look at the stop. The stop moves after the bar closes, so still in the trade. And ultimately, it stops out here. Not quite able to get to target 3, but it's a target 2 winner, and then of course you exit the rest of your position. This strategy is really, really cool, and it's why we call it fun with moving averages, because there's nothing more fun than placing trades like this. Let's see if we can find a losing trade. And there's another trade here, and again, this is getting close to current time at the time I'm recording this video. This one gets short, hits money management, stop moves down, and then it pushes through target 2, target 3, target 4, perfect target. You could see the profit here, 13 ticks, 18 ticks, 23 ticks. And then it trails down even further, but by the time the trailer didn't quite catch up to it. I mean, you could certainly extend more targets down if you want. You could just do it visually or draw a horizontal line or whatever. But it ultimately stops out, and it's another winning trade. And that takes us up to the right edge of the chart. And that's where we are right now in real time. This is forming, and this is what's happened in today's session. Every trade a winner. We see this a lot. This is an amazing strategy. I can't promise you every trade will win. In fact, I will promise you that will not happen. There will be a losing trade here and there. But the trade plans that can be developed with these setups will put you in a huge advantage, because they are going to let you quit with a positive result a vast majority of the time while controlling your drawdowns with minimal and efficient trading. All the structure on the chart, all the trades clearly planned from start to finish with rules to follow. Everything that makes up the Spotlight Power Trader is built into our Fun with Moving Averages strategy. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss these videos, and be sure to check out our blog, backpacktrader.com. Why backpack? Because the Backpack Trader represents absolute freedom. Pop on a backpack, head out the door, go wherever you want, be whoever you want, do whatever you want. You've earned that right, because That's what trading's all about. And if you can succeed at trading, you're going to get the lifestyle that you've always dreamed of. And that's what the blog Backpack Trader is all about. Come check us out. Hope to see you there.